What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay, Financial Fanatics Edition. I am Marisha LaShay, and there is, yeah,
Tia, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
y'all, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It is the middle of the week, honey. We are almost to the finish line, honey, and I need us to get there, honey. Okay. Meanwhile, in between time, y'all, first give an honor to God who's ahead of our life. Y'all know how we're going to kick off this show. We are going to check in with ourselves mentally on a scale from 1 to 10. You guys know it is day 11. So let's go ahead and get these check-ins started and rolling on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being the worst day of your life, 10 being the best day of your life. And can I be below a 1? Absolutely. Can I be above a 10? Absolutely. So, whatever platform that you are on, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, definitely feel free to drop those numbers. But you know that Tia and I will go first.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm at a reserve 8. That's like just ready for the day to start. Feeling a lot of gratitude this morning, of course. But Wednesdays always seem to be tricky. It's like when you get to the middle of the week, stuff just start trying to happen that really
Yeah.
don't need to happen. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So I'm at a reserve 8 because I just got to be ready for whatever comes my way.
Yes, I definitely agree because today is hectic, but at the same time, we're here. You know what I'm saying? We here, and that's what I'm grateful for. When I check in and think about today, how I am feeling about a 6.
Okay.
When it feels heavy, you're not as
Yeah.
but I don't like to spread my energy. It's not a front, but it's like I enjoy doing this show. So, woo. But just overall on a Wednesday, Wednesdays are just heavy.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really, really heavy.
Yeah.
With just the work week and just how the week kicked off and how we just been going. It's time for a major reset for me.
I don't know. I'm with you. I'm with you. So we're gonna kick it off. Everybody look at me. Everybody put how you feel at the bottom, wherever you are in the comment section. Let us know how you're feeling. Cause Wednesday is like to Wednesday, honey. And I don't know. Let
Ain't
us
that
know.
it?
Let us
Yeah.
know.
So, you guys, we're going to be moving into the next thing. As I stated before, this is day 11. So, we have 19 more days to be here with you guys, talking, fellowship, laughing, sharing, our personal stories about the topic. And I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. What is debt management? What
Oh,
is debt management? What is that? What
okay,
is that? Who is that?
so debt management is exactly what it sounds, right? What it sounds like. You are managing the debts that you have. Now, debts could be anything, right? It could be your credit card payments or your credit card balances, your student loans, your car loan. It could be any household bills that maybe, I know our people that listen to us are good stewards of their money after, listening with us, but you could have had an electric bill that got cut off, or you could have had a past due balance on your gas bill. Those things would also be considered debts, right? Because those are monies that you owe to someone for maybe a service or a good that you received. Now we're going to take it a step further and make a debt management plan, right? Because what we want to talk about is how to actively manage what you have going on. So a debt management plan is just tailored. It's a tailored strategy to how you are going to get these debts paid off. Okay. So that was a lot. But what we're going to talk about are two different types of debt payment strategies. And then I also want to talk about mindset shifts when it comes to debt, right? Because One, if you're a person who desires instant gratification, and that could be instant gratification across a lot of different sectors in your life, a lot of different relationships in your life. Right now, we're talking about the instant gratification that you feel in the relationship with your money. If you're looking for that when it pertains to paying off debt, you're going to be sadly hurt and mistaken, because this is not a journey that can be done fairly quickly. Now, there are things that you can do quickly, right? But in paying off the debt, it's going to take some time for you to shift your mindset, create that budget, and become more disciplined in becoming who you want to be with your finances, right?
Mm.
Um, it is easy to get into debt. It is fairly easy, fairly easy. Getting out of debt and the discipline that it takes to get out of debt is the thing that causes people to stay in debt. Because, like I said, a lot of this is not going to be instant. It's not going to be an instant gratification. You're not going to feel happy about this. You're going to feel stretched to the limit. There's so many different emotions that you can go through on a debt repayment journey. So I just want to be clear and upfront about that.
That's good. That's
Yes.
good. Yeah. When you speak of the debt management plan, it's not gonna be a celebration.
Mhm.
So, I have to should I prepare my mind, you know, almost like a little service. Okay, I have that. I have acknowledged the debt. Am I gonna keep stacking debt on top of that?
Right.
Or am I gonna go and get help?
Yes. Here's some things here's a thing that I want to tell you that I did for myself and what I also do with my clients. Now, when I first was starting to get into this debt repayment journey for myself back a couple years after I graduated out of college, I was just kind of like all over the place, right? I remember in one of the episodes I did mention that I do use an Excel file, but before I got savvy with Excel, it was pen and paper, right? And this is what I want you to do, because a lot of times we want the digital products and we want everything to look pretty. I don't need you to look pretty. I don't need it to look pretty. What I need is for us to, like you said, acknowledge the debt. So the very first thing that we're going to do before we even get into what the strategies look like, you're going to go out and you're going to get yourself a binder, a big binder, because I don't know how much debt you have, but you're going to get a big binder. And I want you to get the letters from the debt collectors that are calling, the ones that are sending stuff out. I want you to print out your credit card statements, get a real printout of all your student loan payments, your car. Look at what that payoff date looks like, what that payoff plan looks like for your car. I want you to get all of this stuff together, right? Because how do we know how to set up a plan if we don't know the numbers? So in your binder, you're going to put all of these things in there. Each one gets a page. And you're going to look at these numbers. You're going to write them out. Let's know simple numbers. Let's just say you owe $10,000. I don't know, right? And you're going to say, how many months? Because we're going to do this by month, right? We're going to do by month. How many months do I want this debt repayment journey to go on? You in your mind, you say, okay, I want it to go on for 12 months. You break that amount down, divide it by 12, and you see if that's a number that can fit in your budget. If it cannot, then you readjust that thing, because we already talked about creating a budget. You already know how to create a budget to get your needs, your wants, your savings, and then that debt repayment plan. And if that number does not fit in the budget, then the goal is too high. That's not what we're doing over here. What we're doing is we're making it make sense, right, for your debt repayment plan. So now you have it. So you've checked your mind at the door. All right, instant gratification. We're going to put you to the back because we might not be getting that, right? You've collected all of your debts. You know your number. You know exactly who the creditors are. Oh, I didn't say you're going to pull your credit report too, because some things on your credit report that you might not have paperwork for. So you're going to know all of your numbers. You're going to know all of the creditors and all the debtors. You know who needs to get paid where. Now you're going to pick a strategy. Now, there are two strategies that I want you to know about. It's the debt snowball and it's the debt avalanche. Now, one of these is going to give you some instant gratification. Okay, it is. It's going to give you instant gratification. And one of them is going to allow you to go through the journey and build the discipline. Both of them are going to allow you to build discipline, but one is going to help you with that instant gratification need. Okay, if that's what you want. So I'm going to start there with the debt snowball. With the debt snowball, it's going to prioritize your balances. Okay, so you're going to want to put like the smallest balance to the largest balance, and this is where the instant gratification comes in. Because let's say you have a debt that's $500, right? And that's the lowest debt that you have. Well, when you pay that one off, how are you going to feel? You're going to be like, oh my God, I did something, right? I paid this debt off. I'm happy, right? Now you're feeling like you did the right thing. The other one, though, the debt avalanche, is not going to prioritize balances. What it's going to prioritize is interest rates. And this is important because let's just say your credit card, for instance, right? Let's say you close it at, or you pay off your minimum balance, and that's fine. You have something called a closing date. At the closing date, the card is going to be then charged interest. And that interest could eat up that entire minimum payment that you just paid. So now your card is never really going down. It's always going up. So the debt avalanche prioritizes interest rates, because what you want to do is you want to go from smallest to largest, or largest to smallest, however you want to set this up, okay? And you're going to pay off the debt with the highest interest rate first if you're trying to go through and build that discipline. And you'll move those payments over onto the next one until everything is paid off.
It's interesting. It really is interesting when you talk about debt, especially with the snowball method, because I've heard about the snowball method, but I never really, I will always write all my debts out and be
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, here, but also going to look at, excuse me, my credit information. But having all of those papers, like you said, will allow you to see and track progression. So I see
Yeah.
that because I'm like, even when I go to sit down and do my budget, who do I owe?
Yeah.
Okay. If I got money from a family member, I make sure boop,
Right.
back, run them back their money, and even establish if it was a large sum of money and a repayment plan. Like I said, I will, have my little repayment log so I could know, so I could date it, so I could look at the progression, you know. Yeah, that's how I think about debt. I don't even get mad about the debt. I'd be like, damn, that's what you did. Okay, so let's pay this off. The fact that you could
Yeah.
pay it off, and it makes you feel good that you paid the debt off because you're not worrying about it anymore. But at the same time, you know what you got to stop doing. You got to stop.
Yes. Now, I personally like the debt snowball method, right? Because you can tell somebody all day long, right? They don't need instant gratification, but when you paying off debt, honey, yes, you do. Yes, you do, right? So I like for people to use that, and I'm gonna make this very very clear for what this looks like. Okay, so let's say that you have 4 debts, okay, and each debt is $100 total. Okay, so let's just say each debt is $100 total. So you have $400 worth of debt. But in your budgeting plan, oh wait, you have $400 worth of debt. Each minimum payment is $25. Okay. Now let's just say in your budgeting plan, you have $125 that you can allocate towards debts. You pay the first payment. You say, okay, well, I have all 25 minimum payments, but I have an extra $25. So the first debt gets a $50 payment. Okay. So this is how this works. The first debt gets a $50 payment. Now they only have $50 left to pay. Then on the next month, you pay $50. Now that debt is done. It took you 2 paychecks to pay that one off. But what ends up happening is now you have $75 to pay. towards the next one because they're going to get their $25 payment plus that extra $50 that you have. Now you paid that one off. Now the third one is going to have $100 because you have the $25 minimum payment, the $50 plus the other $25 payment. So now you got $100. This is kind of how this thing works, right? I wish I had a simulation to put up so you guys can see it, but you just take whatever the minimum payment is from the first debt and roll it over to the minimum payment of the second debt once that one is paid off. And now that minimum payment just continues to grow like a snowball. I like that one. The debt avalanche one is good because it's attacking the interest rate. But I'm going to just be honest with you. A lot of us don't even understand interest rates, but a lot of us understand minimum payments and a lot of us understand how to put more money towards that. So I think the debt snowball is so great. I think it's great. Everybody gets their payments. Everybody's getting a larger payment at some point. And now you have the full 125 from the example. And if you have something else, now that one is getting $125 on top of whatever their minimum payment is. I mean, we can get out of debt. We just have to create better plans.
Yes, I agree. I'm definitely, I got some homework to do. So it's really, it's interesting though. It really is. It's like going to school, like here we are, the financial fanatics. It's like going to school every day and you're learning something about how to get, your life better and just get on the pathway. Because I'm quite sure with you paying off your debt, it drives up your credit score.
Uh, we
You
have
know,
not. We talked about that in the credit show. But you're right. It absolutely drives up your credit score, especially if you're looking at credit card utilization. That's one. Listen, I don't know if I think I said it in the episode, but you want to keep that utilization under 30%. I mean, we can break this thing down on how you use the debt snowball to at least get to 30%, right? So what you would want to do, oh my God, now I'm you know how I get when I talk about that money. You're gonna look at what your card limit is, okay? And you're gonna figure out what 30% of that is, okay? What you're gonna do is now you know what number you need to be at, because if your card is whatever and you know what the 30% is, that is your goal. So now you aren't stretching yourself so thin to try to get it to zero. You're at least trying to get it to close at 30%, giving yourself more time to now get it down to zero, because now you just did something for your credit.
that's good.
The strategies are out there. The strategies are out there.
Definitely. So I just feel like, what advice would you have for somebody who, is in like major debt, and they might be possibly considering bankrupt? What would that conversation look like? Or, what will be some ways that you can, kind of guide them?
I personally, if this works for you, then do whatever works best. I personally do not believe in filing bankruptcy.
Okay.
Um, because yes, they're going to work out a plan with the creditors. Yes, they're going to get the payments lower, but you're essentially in a debt repayment plan until that thing gets closed out. So here's what I would say: cut out the middleman and just call the people yourself. If you call me, I can tell you how to have that conversation with them, because they will work with you as long as you're willing to work with them. Not answering the phone and not opening the mail is not going to build the relationship that you need to do the thing that you're trying to do, which is why you go and file bankruptcy, because those people would do that thing for you. They would talk to them. They would get a lower payment. But listen, I've had debt after college. I've had debt, and I could not afford it. I couldn't afford the debt. I didn't know if I was going to get at it. I didn't know. And I just remember one day talking with the lady on the phone, and I started crying. And you know, it's not her job, but I could tell that she was an older Black woman. And she said, "Why are you crying?" I said, "Well, because I'm stressed out. I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do." She said, "Listen, stop not answering the phone because we have an offer for you, but you won't answer the phone. And it is significantly less than what your total
It
balance is."
is. It's called a settlement. Talk to them.
It is called a settlement. So here I am thinking at 23 years old that I have to pay this full amount. And she's saying, no, there's a settlement on the table for you, significantly cheaper. And even if you cannot pay the full settlement right now, we can make a payment plan for the settlement.
Talk that talk.
You have to get out of the way of being scared and being fearful. You don't need to file bankruptcy. I don't like when young people, people under 35, I mean, even over 35, but definitely people under 35 who come and they say, well, I made some mistakes and I'm thinking about filing bankruptcy because that's going to, no, 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 no. Because what's going to happen is, where did you get the discipline? When did you learn how to become a good steward of your money? Because you filed for bankruptcy and all they did was wipe it clean. When did you learn how to not get yourself back into that situation? Because if we've known anything about people who have filed bankruptcy, they file it time and time again.
Again.
So when do you learn the discipline? The debt repayment plan gives you a wake-up call for how you spend your money and how you build relationships with people around money. That's it. That's exactly what it
Shut
does.
your mouth.
That's
We
it.
on the same thing because I'm telling you, I used to, man, going back when I was a para, you know I wasn't making no plenty money, child. I wasn't making no plenty money. And I was on the phone talking to them, and I started, my language changed, my attitude changed because I'ma just be real. Black people, what the heck you want? Calling my phone. You know, but I'm answering the phone for that B. And this is about your mistake. They have a job to do, and you got to do a job and get on the phone. Hello, how you doing? This is she. Hello, and how can I help? How can I settle this debt? Is my conversation. How you doing today? Because I was no longer scared or I was no longer stressed out. Yes, I was
Yes.
stressed, but hey, I can't make any payments right now. Can we talk about this in about a week or so I could begin to look at my finances so I could know what I could begin to allocate to you? It's
Correct.
what it would sound like and what it would look like. Because they
Correct.
can't see you through the phone. They could just keep blowing your phone up every day until the debt is paid off. However, you have to become financially responsible and sound to know, hey, I did make this debt, or whatever the case. How can I settle this debt? Do you have any type of settlement options today? I can give you $200 today.
Correct. And here's another one that I want you all to know. Stop. How do I say this nicely?
Honey, say that stuff. Say it. Because I almost said say that. Shh. You know, I'm still trying to work on myself.
Stop being
Girl,
those people that just let shit happen to you.
that's
And this is and where I'm going with that is, you knew you made the debt. Now listen, I'm a credit repair specialist. So we got some tactics, okay? I can make it sound like you did, but you knew that you made this debt. There are strategies out here to help you get this thing done. Now, where I'm going with that is, when you pick up the phone, the first thing that you need to be thinking about is, how's this going to impact my credit score? Everything impacts your credit score. So outside of the question of, do you have a settlement offer on the table? You need to ask them, if I don't make a payment, what day are you going to report this to my credit report? Because now that needs to be a sense of urgency. You need to get the payment plan created before whatever that date is that they are going to report this negative balance to the credit bureaus. Because what they know is that when they put it on your credit report, now other creditors don't want to work with you. Now other creditors are looking at you. Now the things that you want to get, you're not going to be able to get until you give us our money. Settlement on the table. What day are you going to put it on my credit report? And you start looking at how to allocate money towards these debts in your budget. Go back to our budgeting episode and listen to some of the things. Make it work into your life. Create this debt repayment plan, because the problem is too many of us are working to live paycheck to pay off debts when we don't need to be doing that. Take the next 3 months. I'm not even saying that you got to start paying stuff today, but take the next 3 months to set this whole entire thing up and prioritize your future. That's all we talking about. It's prioritizing your future and prioritizing your finances. And you cannot live comfortable when you got debt sitting on your shoulder. It's just like fear. It all needs to go. It all needs to go. So get on a debt repayment plan. Use the debt snowball. Listen, you felt real good when you swiped your credit card to get those shoes that you knew you couldn't afford, and you still paying off them shoes, and you didn't have them shoes 3 years. So use the debt snowball so you can feel that same instant gratification of paying off your debts and becoming the person that you want to be when it comes to your money. Because baby, you better get with it.
And
You better
that's
get with
it. And that's it, Tia. That's it, girl. Talking real good. Talking real
it.
good. Talking real good. Because, baby, I used to get him an earful on the phone. You hear me? I could cuss. Why you keep calling me? I told you I didn't have no money. Why you keep
And you know what? That's the fastest way to get the stuff put on your credit report. That's the fastest way,
You
honey,
know what? I
because
got something for Miss Morris. I'm about to put this on her credit report, and I mean ASAP, because she cussing me out.
I don't have to. I'm still going to, the bill collector still going to get a check. They still going to get paid. Maybe some of them work off commission. I don't know, but it's crazy that no, they're going to get a check.
They're gonna get that bag,
They're gonna get
no
their they're
matter
gonna
what.
get their paycheck. So while you're sitting there being angry with them for just doing their job, honey, they can mess your life up.
And that's it.
So I just want y'all to get real clear. Pick a plan. Debt snowball. Okay. Prioritize the balances. Pay the smallest one first. Once that's paid off, once that one is paid off, allocate that minimum payment plus the small overage that you had to the next debt. And you continue to do that until all the debts that you have listed are done. Now, how do we know what debts we need to pay? Because we have gathered up our credit report, we have opened up the mail, we have wrote things out, we have looked at our credit card statements to see what it is that we need to be paying back. And now we have a true number for what we need to pay. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and figure out how long do we want to be in this debt repayment plan? How does it make sense? What am I willing to cut out of my lifestyle and what am I not? Right? Because I'm not telling you to go out here and live homely. If that's not what you want to do, live smart. Now, how does all of this work within what I'm trying to do? Because if you have 1 to 3 years to lock in on your debt, I promise you that dedication, that determination that you had, plus the goals that you accomplish, you're going to be a better person with your money all the way around, because we're not starting off with the debt. We talked about the budget. We talked about the emergency fund. Now we're talking about, we talked about the savings. And now we're talking about the debt repayment. If you listen to all 4 of those episodes, you have already started setting yourself up for the future.
Go off.
4.
And in that order. And
In
in
that
that order, go off. In that order, go off. But yes, you guys, you heard it from us again and again. Tia, can you please just run back what it is, the top 3 things that I need to do to make sure that I start this process, please?
Yes. The very first one is you need to pick a strategy. I'm recommending the debt snowball. That's the first one. The second one is that you need to understand what your number is, what the debt number is. So that's who do you owe, how much do you owe, okay, and who do you need to pay. Then the third thing would be to get it set up in your budget so that you are successful.
Got you. Okay, those 3 things. You're going to do 3 things. 3 things. Got
That's
you.
it. And those 3 things will start to implement some momentum. You'll be doing some different things. I mean, what did I tell you in the budgeting plan? Once you finally get the debt paid off, now you have more money for your savings. Now you have more money to adjust your budget once you get the debt stuff paid off. What did I tell you about the credit? Once the debt is paid off, that's hindering your credit. Now your credit score is going up. Now you can do the things that you want to do.
That's good.
Tell you, it all comes together. It all comes together, but you have to just start.
That's good, boo. I love that. I love that. You talking real good. Talking real good. Talking real good to me. Talking real good to the people. Walking the walk and talking the talk. I
Tell
don't see why people can't win. And we not even charging for the information. You
no,
know what I'm saying? This is
let's
like
give them the
free
tool.
consultations. This is your coupon, a free consultation month. Get you a consultation. We did talked about. I mean, seriously, 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 it doesn't get no more realer than this. And
Yeah,
it being social media is like a free, free guide. You know what I'm saying? Free guide. You're here tuning in, and the videos are what they are. Man, please, that's a win. So, you guys, with that being said, we're not going to take up no more of your morning. That is it for us. We will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same
you play.
place. You know, you know, you know.